Hello everybody, welcome to the Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood. So there was an article in the Intercept, prison strike organizer warns brutal prison conditions risk another Attica. This was written by Natasha Leonard. It came out in the Intercept August 21st. This is significant because they are trying to organize a nationwide prison strike. They've tried to do these in the past, and sometimes there's been success and sometimes there hasn't. What usually happens is the mainstream media doesn't really cover it. And then it's always just met with these like, oh, we should just give prisoners, we should all give them, you know, big screen TVs and let them sit in hot tubs, you know, blah, blah. And it's like, no, people, you know, if they went to jail, they committed a crime, but the prison system is so out of whack. The private prison industry profits from having prisoners, so that means it needs to create them, right? It also, prisoners are, it's so uneven based on race, who gets arrested and who doesn't. A black kid is 3 times more likely to go to jail for marijuana possession than a white kid. A white kid's going to get a slap on the wrist, right? So here's what's fueling all of this. Last April, a 7-hour prison riot at South Carolina's Lee Correctional Institution left 7 inmates dead and dozens injured. State Corrections Department Director Brian Sterling cited the source of the riot as likely gang-related. Right? Gangs went nuts. But you're a prison. Shouldn't you have them under control? But inmates say that it was provoked by overly punitive prison guards who subsequently made no effort to intervene or offer medical aid for hours. It was the deadliest incident in a U.S. prison in 25 years. If a riot happens, it's almost invariably the fault of the prison. Mistreating of prisoners, overcrowding, guards that don't give a shit, wanting the prisoners to just, let the animals kill themselves. That type of attitude. That's what happens. That's what happens. 7 comrades lost their lives during a senseless uprising that could have been avoided had the prison not been so overcrowded from the greed wrought by mass incarceration. And the lack of respect for human life that is embedded in our nation's penal ideology. Read a statement from Jailhouse Lawyers Speak, a national collective of incarcerated people who provide legal assistance behind bars. If you commit a crime, you need to pay your debt to society. But if we're going to, what our prison system does now, on top of profiting and not, no one is getting rehabilitated. They call it criminal college. You don't come out a better person. You don't come out like, oh, I learned my lesson, I got to keep my nose clean. That does happen, but for the most part, you're just, there's high drug use, so how there's drugs getting in there. There's illiteracy, there's all this stuff. All this stuff is going on. So they're trying to organize a national strike, and this is their demands. The strikers have put forward a list of 10 demands, including immediate improvements to the conditions of prisons, an end to life without parole sentencing, an end to racial overcharging and oversentencing, voting rights for all imprisoned and formerly imprisoned individuals, the reinstatement of Pell Grants. And, this is significant, that incarcerated people be paid prevailing wage for their labor. That's a big part of the prison industry. Oh, we literally have slave labor. They're making 20 cents an hour or whatever, $1 an hour. This would cost me $20, $25 an hour if they were a regular person. See how they do it? There were 58 imprisoned youths who were just paid $1 an hour to battle California's wildfires. A dangerous job which ordinarily pays 6 figures and for which former prisoners are often ineligible upon release. So this is what they're doing. You go fight this fire for $1 an hour, put your life on the line. Wouldn't it be good for society? Okay, you committed your crime, you go to jail, you show good behavior, we'll let you fight fires, but now you have a firefighting job waiting for you. No, you're not allowed. You're an ex-con, you can't get a job. See, so if you're an ex-con and you can't get hired, what are you going to do? You're going to go back to a life of crime. That's not good for society. You know, we have this, just lock them up. All right, they're going to get out eventually. When we have overcrowded prisons, then they just release people. If we got rid of minor drug offenses, it would open up our prison system. Weed possession, no violent crimes, just weed possession. All these people would go free. The 3 strikes you're outlaw, horrible. Horrible. Got caught with weed 3 times, you go to prison for owning a plant. Here's the history of it, though. In 1871, the Virginia Supreme Court stated that the inmate was a slave of the state with only those rights given to him by the state. It was not until 1964 that the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in a unanimous vote that prisoners had the right to protection under the Civil Rights Act of 1871. As recently as 1996, under the Clinton administration, the Prison Litigation Reform Act was implemented to make it harder for incarcerated people to file lawsuits in federal court. The Clintons, that had prisoners clean their mansion when Bill was the governor of the state of Arkansas. These are your sweet liberal Clintons that were basically pro-choice Republicans. Greedy, narcissistic, power-hungry, just like the Trumps and the Bushes and even Obama. They don't want to make things better. They just want to be powerful. That's it. They want to abuse their power. And like all people with power, what is the one thing all people with power want? More power. Hillary was anointed to be the next president. Not being president means she's losing, the Clinton Foundation is losing its influence. If there's no Clinton in any sort of political sphere, no major, no Secretary of State, no White House, no senator, no nothing, then why am I giving the Clinton Foundation all this money? The Clinton Foundation is set up to buy influence. So that's why Hillary's just losing her shit and she can't say, oh, I cheated, I was wrong, I'm bad. No, man. Her gravy train's going away. So the full article is below. It's from The Intercept. I suggest you read it because it opens some eyes to what's happening with this prison strike right now, and another way that we need to, pay attention and come up with real prison reform. It's ridiculous. We have the highest prison population of any industrialized country. We spend the most money on it. That's for profit. It's not that, oh, we just got all these bad apples running around. Just a whole country with a lot of bad apples. Oh, really? Yeah. Is that what it is? Prisons are full of poor people, primarily black and brown people, and poor white people. You're poor, you cop a plea, you can't afford a lawyer, you plead guilty, you go to jail, you have a criminal record, now you never can get a real job. That's it. There it is. The cycle. There's the cycle. Anything you do, commit any crime, do anything wrong, you're back inside, you've got no job opportunities. That's the cycle that creates recidivism. Thank you for watching. Support the show. Go to the Patreon. This Saturday, if you're in Los Angeles, we're doing a Comedy Film Nerds live podcast where we watch like movie trailers, mainly bad ones, and make fun of them. It's 8 o'clock at Dynasty Typewriter. It's at grahamelwood.com. If you're in LA, please come to it. Gareth Reynolds from The Dollop is going to be on the show, and Eric Griffin from I'm Dying Up Here and Workaholics. So check it out. It's all at grahamelwood.com. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, logo.